Hi, everybody. All right. So, unfortunately, there was a twin suicide bombing a couple days ago in Baghdad, Iraq, in a Shiite district. Unfortunately, 70 people have lost their lives. Uh, this is the deadliest attack inside the capital this year. The Islamic State has taken responsibility for this. Police sources said suicide bombers were riding motorcycles and blew themselves up in a crowded mobile phone market in Sadr City, wounding more than 100 people in addition to 70 deaths. So I'm not even going to go into this paragraph here, but basically there was blood everywhere, folks, and that's unfortunately generally the case in a suicide bombing. Iraqi forces, backed by airstrikes from a U.S.-led coalition, have driven Islamic State back to the western Anbar province recently and are preparing for an offensive to retake northern city of Mosul. Mosul being the main stronghold of Iraq that the Islamic State has, and Raqqa in Syria is another. So, according to this here, they're preparing for an offensive against Mosul. So, this is basically in retaliation to that. So, it's an unfortunate situation, folks. Prime Minister Haider al-Abadi said the attacks were in response to the Islamic State's recent defeats. Now, basically, they're targeting civilians after it's lost an initiative and it basically fled the battlefields before, yada, 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 yada. He said on his official Facebook page, I'm not going to read that because that's not how I feel about the situation. I wasn't there. I'm just trying to get you some of the stats and the info. Security officials blame the Islamic State and a news agency that supports the group said it launched a wide attack in Abu Ghraib, 25 kilometers, 15 miles from the center of Baghdad and next to an international airport. This was on a mock news agency, among others, so it is an unfortunate situation. Unfortunately, folks, the photos here aren't the best, but as you can see, they're still kind of getting there. And they're still putting things back together. So, you think it's bad living in our areas? Imagine having this happen probably very close to an everyday or an every week situation. And then, getting the phone call that, grandma or uncle or brother or sister died, for the central bank's little game that they're playing, since they're funneling both sides with guns and unfortunate other situations. So, this is an unfortunate situation, folks, and it says here a powerful Shiite cleric, Muqtada al-Sadr, also called on fighters loyal to him to be on alert to protect Baghdad. Shiite militias like Sadr's peace brigades were seen as a bulwark against the Islamic State. I don't know what bulwark is. Somebody fill me in on that. That sounds British. I know the terminology, but I don't know the meaning of the word. Islamic State sweeping. Okay, advance in 2014. All right, so you guys get the idea here, folks. 70 people are dead, nearly 100 wounded. inside Baghdad, Iraq, due to the approaching retaking of Mosul by coalition fighters. And unfortunately, when they lose battlefields and stuff, they then target civilians in the open, just like the Nazis, just like lots of other groups did in the past. So it is an unfortunate situation. When I was growing up, I had the privilege of knowing a family that had to escape Saddam's Republican Guard. They lost an uncle and a grandparent in the fighting going to the plane. And I do believe they used to live in Baghdad. I could be wrong. But you guys get the idea here. And the reason I had that friend was because I did live in Dearborn at the time. And I've always shared that with you guys. We were like, oh, you're Muslim. Like, not really. Never have really been, never really will be. So, I go to church when I have to. I do this, I do that. I pray when stuff goes really bad. I try to pray when things are good. I do this, I do that. I was raised Eastern Orthodox or thereabouts, so I am, Christian, to say the least, or the most, however you want to put that. So, it is what it is, folks, but growing up, I did go to mosque and stuff with friends and stuff like that, and even as an adult, people don't understand, when you're between two cultures, you kind of blend, and, after you leave the culture, you don't really go there and you don't do that, but people don't like that. They just, want to harp on, oh, you're a pagan or you're a Muslim, and, we don't want you here, here's some charges, So it is what it is, folks. As I've always said, the religions are really sponsored by the central banks. And if you really want to look at a good history of the world, folks, history wasn't as censored before the Israeli central bank got set up. So, and that was basically the time the Torah was set up and the retaking of Israel started, and that's why your history books pretty much start with that. And before that, people were coming out of caves. Well, I never believed that. I never have, and I never will. So, you guys get the idea on that, folks. Thank you.